Hey guys, welcome back to me and ADHD. This is episode 20. I need to write this down seriously. I need to write it down. I think it's 20. I can't remember saying 20 before. I think I said 19 last time. But anyway, episode 20. This one's a bit of a serious one, really, and a bit of a. I've got to think about this carefully because I want to make sure that the wording is as correct as I can make it. I've seen a lot of things, a lot of video clips, be it on YouTube or be it TikTok or Instagram, and just about, people going on and going over sort of signs and symptoms of ADHD, and I feel sometimes it can be a little bit misleading. Now, don't get me wrong. I am in no shape or form saying that what you see is incorrect, because I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. That's not me. I'm not qualified or anything like that at all. I'm not trained. I've got no background in ADHD. I've only just been diagnosed. So I'm a layperson, and I rely on people telling me what the doctor says and things like that, and what I've read. So just like a lot of you. But what I'm finding, as well as some of the things that people are bringing to my attention about what they've seen or heard, is that it can be a little bit misleading. And I think the intentions there, I think it's all good. I mean, some of these clips are absolutely hilarious. However, when it comes to putting the information over, I think it could be done differently. I think that some of it sounds very, definitive. And I think it's about how it comes across as opposed to the information itself. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's incorrect or anything like that at all. I'm just thinking about how it comes across and how some people can take the information. Now, me personally, I can only speak for myself. I still watch these things and read these things. I keep on reading and watching. I'm doing a podcast, but I'm doing a podcast about myself and what I'm finding, and I'm asking for help and questions as well. But I think it can be a little bit. When I watch things, it comes across like if you have ADHD, you have ADHD because you can't get out of bed, or you have ADHD because you keep losing your keys. If you have ADHD because it's come across like that, and it comes, but there's no. A lot of the time, I'm sure there is. I haven't seen every single video out there, obviously, but a lot of the things are like that. And there are people who can, will read into that and go, okay, I'll lose my keys. I'll lose my keys, so therefore I have ADHD or things. And they might do, don't get me wrong, but there needs to be a lot more information, I think, before people decide if they've got ADHD. And I think the way some of the messages come across, some of them, not all of them, some of them come across, sounds very definitive. That if you have these symptoms, if you do this or you don't do that, then you've got ADHD. And I'm not saying it's intentional at all. I'm not saying these people are not, I guess, qualified to say anything. I like to think they have ADHD and they've had it a lot longer than me, so they're going to know a lot more than I know about ADHD. Okay, that's all cool. That's all good. But it's just the way it comes across to me. And I don't want it to come across to other people that way either. And if it doesn't come across to you like that, brilliant. excellent, fantastic. Like I said, I watch some of these things and they're hysterical, really funny. It was great. I can keep on watching them. But again, there are others as well that I've seen that the information that they give is not, it's not clear. There needs to be enough information before they tell you, or before you make a decision if they're correct or not. Now, I've been having a look, and I spoke to a friend the other day, and saw a clip of someone. I'm not going to give links and stuff like that. Someone saying about certain things they found out about what you shouldn't do if you're on ADHD medication. And again, it came across really like, all right, don't do this, don't do that, and whatever. But there wasn't a lot of information there to back it up, which I find strange and puzzling and a little bit scary, because I don't want disinformation, because people will worry and people will stop doing things when maybe they don't have to. For instance, one was coffee. Let's go with coffee. You should not drink coffee when you're on ADHD medication, because coffee will it will increase. Although coffee is a lot of people heard, and I found myself that having a cup of coffee doesn't affect me the same as it affects my wife. I can have a cup of coffee before bed and it doesn't keep me awake. I've always noticed that. Where a non-typical person, or non-typical, a neurotypical person. I'm so nervous giving this podcast, because I don't want it to be taken the wrong way, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully. I'm thinking quite hard. That's why I'm thinking very slowly and talking very slowly. I'm pausing a lot. But for a neurotypical person, coffee generally gets them awake, wakes up the brain, gets all busy, and don't only want to do it before bed, because it'll doesn't help you to fall asleep. Where for someone who has ADHD, it has the opposite, which is fine. And I found that for myself. So when she says I can't have caffeine, you should just not have caffeine because it affects the medication and it can increase the effectiveness, which is over what it should do. So therefore, your medication will be working properly for you. That's basically the gist of it. So do I then stop? Okay, I'm not going to have any coffee at all ever with my medication, because meds won't work. And that's not strictly true. I've done a little bit of research, and I'm a layperson, and you know what I mean? I'm the same as a lot of you guys. I will question things, and I'll look up stuff. So I'm going on what I've just, found out. That might not be true either. So, it is what it is, but I'm trying to get more information. So I hope that you guys will go out and have a look and try and find out more information as well. So this caffeine thing with medication, the first thing I say, for anything to do with the medication, if you've got questions, first thing you need to do is kind of like read the bump that comes with the meds. I think that's a sensible thing to do, because that they're the people who made the meds, so they should kind of like know what the score is. So check on that, read that. Again, ADHD and reading all of that. It's double-sided. That can be hard. However, it's got information in there. So I would look at that before really listening to someone else online. But then you can also, speak to your prescribing clinician. Whoever decided these meds are for you, speak to them, because they're trained in those medications and ADHD, so they're going to know a lot more about it than everybody else. Speak to your doctor, and self-monitor. See how you feel, because you need to understand that there are a lot of things that affect medication and your ADHD. A lot of things. Now, with the caffeine, everything I've read on the caffeine so far, it says excessive amounts of caffeine can affect your ADHD medication. Excessive amounts. That's all I've read so far. It always says excessive amounts, not just any caffeine. It's always excessive amounts. Now, excessive amounts so far that I've looked online is around 400 to 500 milligrams of caffeine per day. I hate to think you have that in one go, because that'd be horrific. But that's per day. Now, I drink instant coffee, okay, as opposed to ground coffee. That's too strong. And mine has, I just measured it. So I have about 1 teaspoon, level teaspoon, so like 1.82 grams maximum of coffee. And that works out to be around 50 milligrams, sorry, not 50 grams, 50 milligrams of caffeine. So I have a maximum of 2 cups per day. So that's a maximum of 100 milligrams. That's nowhere near excessive. That's actually under what they say is kind of like the norm. I think it's like 200 to 300 milligrams, whatever I think it is, something like that, which is, you don't really want to go over that. So yeah. So far for me, the coffee I drink, what I've read so far, is fine. Now, at the same time, you got to look about how your body, everyone is different. Everybody's different. How you intake, how you dissolve, digest, everything about your body is slightly different. And that's why all the medication is slightly different. People are on different medications, different levels of medications, quick release, extended release. There's the amphetamine-based medication, and there's also the methylphenidate based medication as well. So the reaction is slightly different. There's lots of things. You see, what I'm trying to say is a lot of things to take on board before you start denying things to yourself, dietary or otherwise, or feeling that you have to do things. There's a lot of things need to be taken into consideration. So yeah, so self-monitor yourself. If you find after you've been drinking, 10 coffees a day, that your meds not working really right and not doing what they should do, or what they used to, chances are you're drinking too much coffee. Okay, but that's you. That's not me. That's not anyone else. That's you. You've got to monitor yourself as opposed to monitor other people. And also, there's something about, there was vitamin C. Yes, vitamin C. Don't take vitamin C when you're taking medication. Again, it doesn't tell you, or that person didn't say anything about how much vitamin C, and that, again, how much does it affect? your medication. It's so those things you need to really find out. And one of the first places I go is, you speak to your doctor and all the rest. I also want to go and look online. I'm in the UK, so I look on the NHS website, the National Health Service website, as opposed to anywhere else, first of all. As you would do if you're in the States, you look at an American medical website as opposed to a European or British, whatever website first. And it says in there is no restriction or there is no concerns with any other food or drinks while taking this medication, apart from alcohol, which says to me that when you have eating normally, okay, and drinking normally, everything is fine. But I guess if you're having excessive amounts on methylphenidate, and that's why I looked at methylphenidate, not any of the others, it's fine. But then again, you've got to look at what's excessive amounts. And also you've got to look at your own medical history. What other medication are you taking? Your activity levels, your general health, stress levels, all these things, everything affects your medication. Medication doesn't work on its own. It's not just, right, you take the medication, this is what it does, and that's the same for everyone. Hence why there are different types of medication, different quantities, different levels, different speeds. You know what I mean? You use them in conjunction with the healthy eating, exercise, so on and so forth. And as we know, with any medication, and you do a lot of stuff that, counteracts that, what the medication meant to do, it's not going to work. You're taking painkillers because you got a bad knee, but you decide to end up, hopping around all day without your crutches. That pain medication is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just be careful what you listen to and how you take it. You got to ask yourself the questions. You got to go and you got to go deep dive everywhere and find the information yourself. And it's about how you find things and how it affects you as opposed to everyone across the board. Again, I don't want anyone to listen to this and think I'm saying that everyone is wrong. I am not. I am no place at all to say everyone else is wrong. I'm just mentioning how it comes across to some people, including myself. But I guess I'm one of these people who I like to do my research. I can't just take something, hear it, and go, okay. I need to then go find out some more information and then be satisfied with that information before I then decide, for myself. And I still could be wrong. All the information I've read could still be wrong. But this is my point. Okay, this is my point. Don't just hear or listen or whatever to one or two things and take their word, my word, anybody's word, as complete and utter fact for yourself. So everybody's body works differently, everybody's mind works differently. So you've got to find out what works for yourself. I know I'm wittering on, which is probably the worst thing for anyone with ADHD to go through while watching a podcast, because it just went over and done with. And I did one little bit of research here, okay, because I saw one about in bed, struggling to get out of bed and everything, and if you have ADHD and because you struggle to get out of bed and do the things you want to do, okay, it's great. But there's a lot of things that stops you from getting out of bed. Okay, here's a list. Too many late nights, obviously. Very busy and tiring weeks, obviously. Depression, stress, anxiety, insomnia, ADHD. Seasonal affective disorder, feeling overwhelmed, vitamin B12 deficiency, medication side effects, menopause, menstrual cycle, hormonal contraceptives, poor diet, lack of exercise, underactive thyroid. That's 17 reasons there why you may struggle to get out of bed, not want to get out of bed and do the things that you need to do. And that list that's not it. There's more. Again, what I'm saying is it's not necessarily because you have ADHD. There are other things there that could be the reason. So don't just go on what you see and then decide, I must have ADHD. You might have, but we have to do our own sort of research. We're all lay people. Myself, I've got limited knowledge. My background, qualification-wise, experience-wise, is in fitness, personal training. Yes, I've done a lot of nutritional courses. However, none of my courses and my 28 years in the fitness industry, nothing is covered has been, I've not been trained on at all whatsoever on diet and ADHD medication. So I haven't got a clue. Okay. So I would never, yes, I know about exercise and all that, but still not about the ADHD part and the medication part. So I'll stick to what I know, and I'll let you know what I don't know, which is pretty much everything about ADHD. I just want everyone just to be aware and don't just be sucked in by the information out there online and take it for granted that because you do something that they do, that you must have ADHD. You need to keep asking questions. If you really feel you have ADHD or you really feel that your medication isn't working, you've really got to do research. You really got to look at yourself as well, and self-monitor. And then you can go back to your GP or whoever it is and ask the questions and everything like that. Okay. What you see might give you the ideas, but you need to do the research. I don't want disinformation out there, because even when you do know what you're talking about, I guess even if you have the diagnosis and you are on the medication and you know what it feels like to have, the diagnosis and the medication, how it all works, stuff like that, it's still a minefield. It really, really is. It's not cut and dry at all. And that's what I'm just trying to get across. So please, keep on reading, keep on watching, take all the information in, but don't just rely on that. You got to do your own research. You got to speak to your GP or doctor, prescribing clinician, psychiatrist, psychologist. And not everything when it comes to food and drink and medication is black and white. I love black and white, but there's a lot of gray because everybody's different. Hence why there's a lot of different medications. Okay, just remember that. Right, guys, I'm going to go because I'm boring myself, but I just wanted this out there. Hope it's come across okay. Let me know if you think I've said something wrong or missed something out. Please let me know. I'm quite happy to edit. I'm quite happy to take this down. I don't want to offend anyone. I want to give out the right information. And I don't think I've really given out any sort of information apart from go find out the information for yourself and speak to the right people. Okay. So guys, be good, be kind, especially my comments. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. And remember, you're not alone.